Wednesday. It was going to be Walkabout Wednesday, Wandering Wednesday. I had a note from Pete Lennon yesterday, one of the great exceptionals, and he said, have you ever thought about going back to your coffee chat, mornings where you're going for a walk whilst you're having a coffee? I said, yeah, I think about it, Pete, but it's a little bit easier coming and doing it from home because I can stream to multiple Facebook pages and groups all at once from my laptop. I don't know if you were there on the very first day that I went to do this, and I did it from my phone and it died. It didn't actually work. So it's not Walkabout Wednesday today. I might do it. It will only go to one group and it'll just be my Facebook page. But today I'm coming back to you from the same location. That is the home office, sipping on a coffee. And today's topic is something that I'm not going to say annoys me because it doesn't, but it does interest me greatly how prevalent the statement, I don't have time, is in our culture. It's probably in every culture, in every country you've never heard of. There may be the mantra, I don't have time. And today, I'm not informing you because you know this. I am reminding every single one of us that there is no greater lie than the lie of I don't have time. Now, why do we say it? To be truthful, most of us say I don't have time actually as a way of being more polite than if we really translated the phrase I don't have time as to what it really means. So let me give you an example. You will have a friend give you a call, and the friend says to you, Marcus, I'd love to catch up with you for a coffee. Do you want to catch up for a coffee? And this example is me. And I will say back to my friend, I'm sorry, I don't have time. And they go, okay, no worries, next time, whenever you do. And we carry on. Now, really, what I'm saying, if I said I don't have time, is, let's just pretend it's Damo. Let's say Damo called me and said, Marcus, you want to catch up for coffee? I'm in town, let's catch up for coffee. I said, mate, I'm so sorry, I don't have time. What I'm really saying is, Damo, I've got all of these priorities at the moment. I know we're building a house. I've got 4 kids. I've just written a book. I'm working on the launch of the book. I've got clients that I'm working with. And all of those things, Damo, are more important than catching up for a coffee with you. That's what I don't have time is saying. It's translating that I actually have a number of different priorities, and what you're asking of me does not actually fit into the list of priorities that I have. Everything else that I have is more important. Now, the challenge is, I need a hanky. Sorry, this is just really, olden days, isn't it? But they're important. The challenge of this is that at some point, I think it's really wise that we pick ourselves up on when we say I don't have time, because it has become such a social habit that many of us say it without even knowing that we say it. Hey there, Desley. Great to see you in on Facebook land. So many of us are saying, I don't have time for this, and I don't have time for that, and I don't have time for this, and I don't have time for that. And it's actually a lie. You do have time. Albert Einstein probably said time is all we have. Or did he say we all have 24 hours? Either way, they're both right. Time actually is the only thing that you do have. It's how you decide to spend your time that really is what makes you unique, because the beliefs that you have will control how you really spend your time, the actions that you take. And every single one of us do it differently. But I want to remind you that if you find yourself saying, I don't have time, you don't have to backtrack in the moment, but I do want you to reflect on why you say it. Are you saying it to, in your mind, be polite? Because really it's a lie, okay? Do you want to have a go at actually explaining to people, instead of, I don't have time, I'm sorry, I've got this meeting and this catch up and this pick up and da-da-da-da-da. Do you want to do it that way? Which again is more truthful, but it might feel a little bit more inconvenient. You might feel like you're making excuses where really they're just your values. Do you just want to silently go about it? Let everyone tell you that they don't have time. You tell people you don't have time, and just do as we do at the moment and we just interpret it in our own ways. There's really no right or wrong here, but I do want to kind of pick anyone up on the fact that it's never an excuse of time. That's not a real excuse. It's always a question of values, and being able to own our values, what's important to us, is not the same as what's important to someone else, which is why when one person wants coffee and another person says, I don't have time, it's purely a difference in values. One person is valuing having coffee, the other person is valuing other things. So I want you to consider that. There are a number of other one-liners that come up when we are talking about social cues and the rest. I've spoken about it many times before with Damien Christoph on being busy. There's many others. You should do this. Should is just, it's one of the worst English words. Hey there, Pete. I've already mentioned you on the Facebook Live this morning, Pete. So you're done and dusted. You've already got a mention. There are a number of different social one-liners that we really want to be careful of. You don't understand. That's a good one. As I said, I don't have time. Fine. Anyway, we're getting it. But what I want you to be really clear on here is just be really careful of your language and the words that you use, because the reason why I get so big on this is we end up using it for so many areas of our life. We use it for our entire life. And the biggest one is, I don't have time to live my exceptional life. I'm so busy, just surviving, that I don't have, like, an exceptional life seems like a luxury item on the store shelf that I can't afford. And that is so untrue, completely untrue. But if we buy into this belief that we don't have time to, do the things we love, to move regularly, to catch up with friends, to eat a meal at a table rather than a quick takeaway. I went and got coffee with my dad on the weekend. Walked past McDonald's on the way to the cafe. I wanted to support little Jack and John or whoever runs the cafe. McDonald's is flat knacker. Anyway, we never want to say I don't have time to see my family. I don't have time to read books. I don't have time to, whatever it is. You don't want to use time as an excuse because it's a lie. Now, I'm about to head to a client meeting. I value that client meeting to the point where I am about to end the Facebook Live. That's the truth. It's not that I don't have time to stay here. I do. But I'm about to go to a 9:15 client meeting, and I'm going to gracefully bid you farewell. For those of you that are catching on, the book is done. Your Exceptional Life. I got word from the printer yesterday that I shall receive them on May 14. Now, don't hold me to it, because postage around the Byron Shire is probably not the most brochure-worthy item. That's not a bad thing. That's okay. There are bigger fish to fry. But sometime around May 14, the actual physical books will be here. The ebooks will go on sale on Amazon and all those places. And then the audiobook will come out 2 to 4 weeks after. There's a bit of ruling and laws around audiobooks. So you need to have your book up on Amazon for 28 days or something like that. So it's all coming, folks. But if you're new here, if you're only just learning about the fact that the book is finally done, 5 years later, it is done. Pete Lennon read the manuscript. I think I've got Pete Lennon's manuscript here. This is the poor bloke. He had to read this. Well, not he had to. He agreed to. It was about 40% longer than the book in your hands. It was an opus. But you will be very grateful that you're not receiving that book, I promise you, because wherever the other book is, somewhere, this is a lot nicer. This single copy, it's a bit smaller, it's a bit thinner, and it's just a bit easier to read. Wouldn't you agree, Pete? I maybe went into a bit too much detail in I think that was version 12. I think the book is version 14. So anyway, nice and chopped. All right, guys, client meeting awaits in 30 seconds and counting. I better run. Chat to you all soon. Didn't have time to do anything else. All righty. Good work, guys. Take care now. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.